name is Becca, and this is How to Yoga. Today we're going to start with Tadasana, which is a very universal pose, and once you master the elements of Tadasana, you can apply it to almost every other posture you're going to practice. So, to begin, we're going to step towards our feet towards each other, and a few options here at the feet. You can either bring your toes together with your heels slightly apart, or you can step about hips width distance. So I prefer hips width distance. It feels a little more solid for me. And from here, you're going to want to spread the weight evenly over your feet and lift up through the inner parts of your feet and your arches and your calves and your thighs. So you're lifting up in the center of your legs, and then you're letting your weight spread evenly across the rest of your feet. Then moving up your legs, you're going to have strong, straight legs. And if you turn to the side, what we're going to do with our pelvis is to tip your pubic bone up and your tailbone a little bit down. So you can see if I'm just kind of standing normal, sometimes we tend to let our bellies go out soft, and then that ends up making our butts stick out a little bit, especially if you're in high heels. That sort of accentuates that. So what we're going to do here instead is to shift it down and a little bit lower. From here, the rest of the posture is easier to see from the side. So we've got our feet, we've got our hips, our belly is now engaged. Just by raising your pubic bone up, it naturally sort of engages your belly, which is a really important part of every posture that you do. From here, normal standing posture, there's a lot of sort of forward slouch. You can see on my head has come forward and my shoulders have drooped in. So it's very common to see people here, and when you look at me from the front, I've collapsed in this area. So what we want to do with our strong legs and our strong bottom half is then to open up your heart. And to do that, you're going to take your shoulder blades, and from this open position, you're going to draw your shoulder blades back and down towards each other. So there's going to be a little bit of tension in your back, but it's not tension like you've had a stressful day. It's tension like you're holding in tension. So you're holding in tension in your upper back. And that is naturally going to pull open your chest, which is going to elongate your belly, even though you've got your pubic bone reaching up. So you've got all this sort of dynamic and contrary action happening in your body. And then finally with your head, so we went from this slouching shoulders, we pulled our shoulders back, we want our head up. So our eyesight is going to be, you want it coming straight out of your head as if you're drawing a parallel line with the floor. So generally that is a little more lift than you might expect. And then the back of your skull, you're just going to let it as if you're resting against a wall. So if I were to step all the way over against this wall, you can do Tadasana pretty well against the wall. And the feeling of having your head leaning against the wall is similar to how you're going to stand by yourself. It's maybe not that extreme, but it's to that effect. So as if there's something there supporting your head. And then your arms also have some purpose in this pose. Once your shoulders are pulled back, your arms kind of naturally find a place right along where like pant seams are, along the sides of your thighs. So from here, you can keep your arms, you can keep your hands facing your thighs. Some folks like to turn their palms out. My preference is hands towards my thighs. So this is Tadasana, mountain pose. It is, like I said earlier, the core of so many other postures. So to master any of these basics and to know them off the top of your head is really going to excel your yoga practice and bring you strength